Welcome back, students. Today we are going to discuss regarding class 9th biology. Why do we fall ill? Part 2. This will cover all the infectious diseases. As we will go through the proper synopsis, it will cover your introduction to an infectious disease, viral, bacterial, protozoal, fungal, and Helminth diseases. So whatever diseases are infectious, they are due to some of the pathogens. So one by one, we will go and take a view of all the pathogenic diseases, or you can term them infectious diseases. So firstly, viral diseases. As viruses are small particles of genetic material, either DNA or RNA. From both of them, only one content can be present. And this DNA or RNA is surrounded by the protein coat. As you can see here in the structure, the DNA and RNA, it is covered through a protein coat. So they are incapable to reproduce on their own. Viruses depends on another organisms. The organisms which are called as host for them. So all the viruses depends on host. Viruses get their bad rep. It means they also perform many of the activities which are very dangerous for or in terms of diseases and infection. But yes, rather than that, they are important for us also. They used to perform lots of important functions which help for human, plant, animals, and also in environmental conditions. So not all the viruses are harmful, just like bacteria. Okay, so yes, we are going to cover three important diseases which are caused by virus. They are the dengue fever, common cold, and of course the influenza. So now we will take a view on these three diseases. As dengue virus is RNA virus, they are also referred as arbovirus or favivirus group. They used to cause a yellow fever. Thus, the virus which causes dengue fever is mosquito-borne. The mosquito-borne virus disease it is a flavirovirus. It is due to the Aedes mosquito. The Aedes aegypti female prefers to lay its egg in artificial. It means it needs a clear water, and of course that clear water contained can be found easily at the human habitats. So they used to lay eggs there, and their incubation period, it means the disease causing period is 3 to 8 days. During these days, the body will show some symptoms if we are infected with this. They are the abrupt onset high fever, several frontal headache, and yes, definitely there will be pain, the eyes and the worsens, eye movement everywhere, the muscular and joint pains, loss of taste and appetite, measles like rashes can be grown on your chest and limbs, nausea and vomiting are also been seen. So these are the common symptoms when anyone got caught of fever, dengue. Here, the viral structure is being shown here. It is just RNA virus covered the nucleic acid and definitely the membrane covered proteins. So this is in general a dengue virus. Another viral fever which is being referred as the common cold or infection. Actually, common cold is very common and we have mostly more than 100 type of rhinovirus for the same cause. And some of the small bacterium dilesters are also there, those who are cause of common cold. What happens actually in common cold? So yes, there are several symptoms. This virus used to infect our nose or upper respiratory passage. It causes the inflammation in the mucous membrane, so there is irritation in your nasal chamber or in a nasal tract. Sometimes the nasal congestion can also get occur, and flow of mucus through a sneezing can also come. So these are the common symptoms through a common cold. Apart from them, sometimes sore throats, hoarseness, cough, tiredness, headache, and slightly fever is also a symptom included in. And remember one thing, the common cold is untreated. We cannot treat it. Actually, it automatically get treated within 3 to 7 days. So if it is due to a rhinovirus, so definitely it will be cured by itself only. Means our body used to cure it. But if more than 7 to 10 days it gets lies in your body, so definitely you have to refer to a physician or to a doctor. Okay. Now third influenza disease. It is the most endemic disease before. Okay, so it is also a RNA virus. It also have a lipid envelope called capsules. Influenza is epidemic, endemic and pandemic category of virus. Just like COVID virus, years before, influenza also have got the same pandemic things. At that time also, we don't had any other vaccine for influenza, and it lead to cause millions and millions of death. So just like COVID virus, influenza also was a pandemic virus in its era. So now it is just epidemic diseases we study. Influenza is caused by Haemophilus influenza, and also it used to lie inside the gram-negative bacteria also. So avian flu is the common flu which is being caused by this virus H5N1. Normally it is known as the bird flu. So bird flu virus is being also in this category. It is also being reported in, of course, in China only, and the incubation period is 18 to 72 hours. During this timing, the symptoms which are being seen, they are just the discharge of nose, sneezing, short throat, cough, muscular pain, headache, chillness, and of course a fever for continuous 4 to 5 days. So these are the common symptoms which can be seen if one is infected with influenza. Now here we have covered the three main diseases which are caused by virus. Now we will cover the bacterial diseases. As the bacterial disease, definitely they are caused by bacteria. Bacteria's disease included commonly illness causing diseases. Bacteria are a type of prokaryotic microorganism. As we are familiar with this thing, they are very tiny form of life that can also only be seen with the help of microscope only. And yes, of course, bacterial disease which are caused by bacteria, they are harmful. So they are termed as pathogenic bacteria. They used to get entered into the body and do the reproduction. Harmful bacteria may also emit toxic materials which damage the body. So, as bacteria also are harmful to us, not all, but those who are harmful, they are termed as pathogenic bacteria. Here, we will cover three of the diseases caused by bacteria. That is, tuberculosis, in short, we will refer it TB, cholera, and pneumonia. So getting started with tuberculosis. As tuberculosis is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and the infected part may be any part of the body it can infect, but the main part of the body which is commonly infected by this bacteria is lung. Lung TB is most common as the bacterium releases some toxic material. That toxicity is called tuberculin. This tuberculin used to destroy tissues and infect other parts also. It spread through sneezing, coughing, contaminated food and water, or contaminated clothes as well. And there is incubation period 3 to 6 weeks, or maybe it may lie for years also. And the common symptoms which can be seen in tuberculosis are a constant cough, and in severe cases, the sputum with blood and a continuous pain in chest. While coughing, loss of body weight and gradual weakness of the body also a main symptom. Low grade fever throughout the day and a symptom of lung TB can also be seen. And of course, tuberculosis is also called as the long-term diseases in a human. Once if you got caught of TB, you will, although the recovery will be take place, but yes, as it takes a year to represent the symptoms. So it used to grow in the body gradually, not a sudden growth. A gradual growth is being seen of the pathogen, and during the growth, definitely it will destroy the body. So gradual loss of weight and everything will be continue. Here the common image is being seen here, that is a Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is a capsulated bacteria, and yes, of course, just like a rod shaped bacteria, lots of flagellars, cilia are being seen, and the structure is common for all the bacteria. The second one is cholera disease, and yes, it is also referred as the waterborne disease, which is being just like if you drink a contaminated water. So yes, we can caught of cholera bacteria. This disease is caused by bacterium called Vibrio cholerae, or you can just commonly call it as common. It infects intestine and the digestive tract of a body. It is spread through the contaminated food and drinking water if it is contaminated. And the causing bacteria secrete cholera toxin. Just like tuberculin in TB bacteria, the cholera bacteria secretes the toxic material that will be enterotoxin. This also acts as an isotonic electrolyte solution which is being secreted by the internal mucosa if it gets infected. And of course, this is also has a very less incubation period, 2 to 3 days. And during these days, you will have symptoms if you got infected. What are the symptoms? Take a look. Cholera is mainly characterized by sudden onset on profuse, effortless rice water-like stool, vomiting, and a rapid dehydration, loss of mineral, and muscular cramp. So here, in short, I have shown in image what will be the symptoms. So this may be caused due to the cholera bacteria, that is Vibrio cholerae. The next one, pneumonia. As pneumonia is a serious lung disease, it is caused due to the accumulation of mucus fluid in alveoli or in bronchi. They are the part of our lungs, and then extend the breathing, or the person who is being infected with this type of inclusions, he will feel a heavy breathing problem. Breathing becomes difficult due to this situation. And the main causative organism who causes pneumonia is Streptococcus pneumoniae, or you can use the alternate name also, Diplococcus pneumoniae. Either Streptococcus pneumonia or Diplococcus pneumoniae. The incubation period here is also less, 1 to 3 days, and it is spread through the sputum of the patient. Okay, and the symptoms which will be seen in the patient are the sudden and single shaking chillness followed by fever. Just like in some of the diseases, we have a fever and chillness as well. But yes, in pneumonia, as the lung get infected, so that will be a pain in your chest. So pain with a breathing on the side of lungs will also be included. Increased pulse rate and a respiratory rate and cough definitely been seen, and sputum will be bloody or rusty if it get increased. If you have a cough, so it may have some blood when you are coughing. So that is called the sputum is bloody or rusty. Okay. So this was all the bacterial diseases, some of them we have seen. Now we will see the protozoal disease. Protozoa, as it acts as a parasite organisms to our kingdoms. It is a parasitic organism. And of course, it is also a eukaryotic organism but a unicellular. Okay, so here the parasitic infections are just a parasitic diseases they can cause, and the organism which are grouped here in kingdom protozoa, or you can call it the protista kingdom. They are usually contracted by either insect as a vector or some of the agents can take them from one place to another, and then they can infect the person. Some of the diseases which are being caused by protozoa are given here. The diseases and the causal agents are written in front of them. First disease is amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is caused by Entamoeba histolytica. Second one, primary amoebiasis. It is been not seen in India mostly, but it is in African areas. So here some of the diseases are given which are caused by protozoa. And from these diseases we are going to cover two diseases, that is malaria and leishmaniasis. So take a look. Malaria. Now yes, of course, malaria is not caused due to the mosquito. As you can see here, it is due to the bite of mosquito, but actually mosquitoes are not a reason for malaria. Inside the mosquito body, we have a parasite. That parasite lives inside the mosquitoes. That is the plasmodium. And yes, of course, a plasmodium is a protozoa. So malaria is caused by a digentic and triphasic protozoa parasite known as plasmodium. Mosquito is not a reason for malaria. Remember, mosquito is just a vector, or you can say a carrier for it. Okay, so yes, plasmodium is a main cause who causes malaria. And as we have used here two terms, digentic. As you can see here, digentic means an organism who have two hosts to complete his own life cycle. As we can see here, the half life cycle will cover inside the mosquito, and the half life cycle will cover inside the human blood, or you can say human body. So there are two different hosts to complete plasmodium life cycle. So they are referred as digentic. Similarly, they have triphasic life cycle as well. Triphasic means having three phases in a life cycle. Here you can see the diploid phase, zygote phase, and then an haploid phase. So haploid and diploid, two phases are there. With this two phase, it can also form a spore. So sporophytic phase is different. So there are three phases in parasites life cycle. So they are referred as triphasic. So these two terms you need to remember whenever we are going to deal malaria. Okay, and yes, of course, as we have discussed, they have two hosts. Primary host or definite host is female Anopheles. It is a mosquito. Remember, this mosquito is not a cause of malaria. They are just carrier for it. And the secondary or intermediate host is human being. Okay, so malaria is being caused by plasmodium, not by mosquito. Now the second disease of protozoa is African sleeping sickness, or you can say trypanosomiasis. Trypanosomiasis is also such type of disease similar to a malaria. It is also been spread through a bite of CC flies. The zoological name for CC flies is Gonesia pulpalis. Here in image I have shown the fly. So this fly is just a carrier. Inside the body of this fly, this parasite is present. This is a protozoa which is called trypanosoma. So this trypanosoma is present inside this CC fly. When this CC fly bites to another animal or organisms, from those organisms it can spread into them. So just like a malaria, this is also having a trypanosoma is a protozoa which has a digentic life cycle. It also have two hosts. Okay, so here you can see it is mostly commonly found in African areas. Sleeping sickness of Africa, it is also given a name. This is caused by Trypanosoma gambiense by the bite of bloodsucker CC fly. And another CC flies, we have lots of species which can be bite to animals also. Okay, so Trypanosoma is a protozoa which is digentic, have two different hosts. Primary host is human being. Antelopes and reservoir hosts are also being seen. They are the uh, ruminants or animals. And the secondary host for CC fly is Glossina pulpis. This is itself a CC fly. Okay, so similar to the malaria, this is another protozoal disease. That is, you can remember trypanosomiasis. Now, after the protozoal disease, we will take a view of fungal diseases, as fungus are also a eukaryotic category of organisms. The common diseases or infection which is caused by fungus are the ringworm or rounded red or silvery type of superficial fungal infection of a skin. Mainly, this fungus used to cause skin disorders, and the common species which are causes this disease are trichophytans, microsporiums, and epidemophytons. These are the common fungus which used to cause skin diseases or disorders. Now, as they cause skin diseases and disorders, they used to search the dry and decay lesions on the skin, mainly the surface of the skin. If it is dry or a little bit moisture or humus is present, so it will be preferred for the growth of fungus. The nails and the scalp that causes intense itching. Heat and moisture promote the growth of the fungus, especially in the folds of skin. And yes, a common source of infection for fungus is either soil or either the wetted towels, clothes, combs, or directly an infected person. So if such things are commonly found nearby you, so you may get caught of fungal infection very soon. Here, some of the things are given in the image, just like how the symptoms can be seen if you have a fungal infection. The burning, itching, and other things can be seen quickly. So there are many fungal infection mostly cover the skin infections. We are not going in more detail for the fungal and the infections, but yes, we will cover the Helminth diseases. They are also referred as the parasites. In Helminth, the worms are included, flatworm and roundworm. The worms which we are talking here are Ascariasis and the Filariasis. Ascariasis is a common worm which causes uh, mainly seen in small kids around mostly. So it is a common ascariasis is caused by common roundworm, that is Ascariasis lumbricoides. It is a giant intestine worm also, and female lay eggs approximately 2 lakh eggs a day. And yes, of course, these eggs used to be seen inside the sand or soil, and from there it can be get entered into the body. This eggs once reaches to your intestine, it will lay there or it will remain there for the rest of his phases. It will cover his life cycle and can grow inside your intestine. Okay, and the second disease which is being caused by worm itself, that is filariasis. It is also being referred as elephantiasis. Elephantiasis, you can see here an image where a leg of a person gets swollen off due to the presence of this worm inside his body. Now, the nematode or the worm which is being responsible for this is Bacteria bronchophili. Bacteria bronchophili is a nematode or you can say worm which causes this disease. Another species, Burkia molli. This disease spread by them respectively areas, just like it has been seen in a Malay area, so it has given the name. So there are two type of filariasis. One we can say Bangorfian filariasis and second one is Bulgarian filariasis. So Bulgarian filariasis and Bangorfian filariasis are the two diseases which are commonly seen of the helminthes. So this were the disease which we have covered as these are the pathogenic diseases or you can say the infectious disease. Definitely the cause of infectious disease is microbes. Not all but the pathogens, those who harm us. So by using the sanitization and disinfectant methods, we can prevent ourselves from any of the infection and disease. So there are some principles which we can follow to reduce the chances of infection and disease in the body. What they are: the personal hygiene, maintaining distance from the infected person, self-isolation if you get infected, and just of course we can use the principle of prevention, just like the sanitization, disinfectant, and other things. So here we have covered all the infectious diseases which have been caused by pathogens. Again, see you in a third part of the video that will cover the immune system. So that's it for today. Thank you.